All right. Hey, everybody. It's March 2021. I'm Indira Grace. Let me turn this just a little bit. There we go. All right. I am Indira Grace. And last month for February, we had so many orbs showing up in a couple of different videos, especially fire signs. That I'm kind of excited to see if maybe we have some more activity today. So let's see what happens. All right. I'm doing air signs. So it's Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, and I have chosen Archangel Power Tarot by Radley Valentine. And I know I use this one a lot. Like I get it. But I really love this deck. It is the deck that speaks to me the most right now. Not that the fairy deck was a bad choice last month, but it's just the one that I use the most. So on my page, we will post things like new moon and full moon spreads, and a lot of times I will use the Radley Valentine to do my own reads, my own spreads for those. So yeah, it's a deck that I use for my personal work, for my personal stuff. And I figure if it works for me, it's going to work for you. All right. So let's get started. So for the month of March for Gemini, you are getting the Star card, which is a major arcana card. So that means big movement for you. Anytime, like my agreement with spirit is anytime we see a major arcana card, that's a big month for you. Okay. So that's a big message for you. And so for Gemini, for the month of March, this indicates like the end of a difficult situation and kind of a dream coming true for you. So believe in yourself, believe in it. I just finished just a few minutes ago, believe it or not, just a few minutes ago, I finished teaching A Course in Miracles. I facilitate a group with some other people who are interested in studying A Course in Miracles. And one of the things that we talked about was when we believe it, when we believe in the possibility of it, that creates this energetic dynamic that makes it come about. So one of the things that we study in A Course in Miracles, one of the foundations is that miracles happen naturally and we don't have to force them. But at the same time, what we recognized as the people who were attending this class is that the miracles will happen more succinctly, will happen like in succession if we acknowledge the miracle and we kind of get wrapped up in the energy of it with the emotions, if we believe in it. So, what the star card is saying and what spirit is saying to you, Gemini, for the month of March is believe that this difficult time is over. Believe that a dream is coming true. And then start to watch the little steps that happen that are starting to make that happen for you. Okay. And the more energy you put into it, the more excitement you get from it, the more it's going to my this is driving me crazy. My it's not centered. The more energy you get into it, the more you get into the excitement of it, then that creates the energy for it to come true. So for those of you that watched my fire signs video for the month of February, the more I started to acknowledge the orbs that were like buzzing around my head, and the more excited I got, the more they showed up. So it's that you got to get into it. You got to get that feel into it. You got to commit 100%. That being said, Gemini, this is all like leading. The more I talk to you, the more I'm getting more messages for you. And this kind of goes for everybody, but Gemini in particular. I am doing some studies, and one of the things that the author of the book that I'm reading talks about is if you don't commit 100%, you're not committed at all. You can't commit 50% and then pull out and say, oh, well, wasn't, like I didn't expect it to happen. You either commit 100% or you don't. And if you don't commit 100%, you're not aligning yourself with that energy. So commit 100% to this dream that you want to happen. To commit 100% to believing that the end of your difficult situations are coming. That doesn't mean see my eyebrows. That does not mean that you won't have difficulties. But as the Buddhists teach, Suffering is a choice. Things will always happen. Bad things will always happen. Suffering is the choice. We can either accept the bad thing that happens and move forward, or we can sit in it like a big puddle of mud and get covered in the mud and let it dry and suffer even more. Okay? So we have those choices. Gemini, you have that choice. All right, Libra, for the month of March, you have Six of Gabriel. And I hold these up for Alexandria, as I mentioned in one of my videos for the month of February. Um, she kept saying, hold them up longer. I'm like, they can't see. They can't read it. Like the writing is very small and you can't zoom in on a video. And she's like, no, you're not doing it for them. You're doing it for me. So I'm holding this for her. All right. So Libra for the month of March. What is that song from the 90s? Every end is another, every beginning is another ending's beginning. I don't know, whatever it is. This is a time of an ending and a beginning for you, Libra, for the month of March. It's time to move on to the next project. You are going to get recognized. You've done a wonderful job. Well done. Move on. Okay, something's coming to an end, something is beginning. And it's more around like work or personal, not relationships. So like work or personal promotions, personal movements. So if you are in school, then it's time to move on to the next project. Like I'm in ministerial school. And for me, even though I'm not a Libra, the month of March is the end of my online courses. And it's when I go into my uh, oh gosh, I'm losing the words. I'm happy to be here. It's when I go into like my internship. So it's the end of one and the beginning of the next project. So for Libra, it's the same thing for you. It's the end of one and the beginning of the next. So congratulations, and you're moving forward. All right, so be excited about that and move forward with it. All right, so for Aquarius, you have the Queen of Ariel. It's very opulent there, by the way, with that gorgeous chandelier and the beautiful gown and the roses and just very, very opulent. Now let's see what it means. Let's see what Spirit has to say. Oh, so for Aquarius, the month of March, one is to take that time to nurture yourself. So what I'm seeing is to make things a little more beautiful in your nurturing. So rather than just laying down on the sofa, watching reruns of Criminal Minds, because sometimes that's nurturing for us, right? Not so much, but sometimes it is. Maybe you make an appointment to like one of those floating places, or maybe if you get a normal massage, maybe you upgrade your massage a little bit. But take that time to nurture yourself and also those that you love. So maybe the month of March is a time when you make more food homemade and you really put some extra love into it. And also spend some time making your environment that you live in a little more beautiful as well. Okay. So maybe you declutter. I just started that process just recently, kind of started to declutter. But maybe that's what you do. Maybe you put some fresh flowers in if you're in your home, some fresh roses or whatever is your favorite flower, some new plants. One thing that happens where I live in the Midwest in Kansas. Well, I live in Missouri. I used to live in Kansas. Is in March, we will often get 60-degree days. And so you can open up the windows and open up the doors and air out everything, kind of get that fresh air flowing through your environment. So that's what they're talking about for Aquarius for the month of March. It's kind of your time to nurture yourself in a little more of a special way, a little more of an opulent way, nurture those that you love in the same way, and kind of beautify your work environment and your home environment. And for many of us through COVID, it's the same environment. All right. So I didn't see a single orb in this video. I'm very sad. So maybe in the next video, we'll see what happens. All right, guys, have a wonderful March. God bless you. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in April. Take care. Bye.